So how many persons do we have online now? How many participants do we have?
Now we have 6. More people will be joining.
Okay. So do we hold on, or we can just do we hold on a little bit, or we can continue?
We wait for 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 to 10 minutes we'll wait.
Okay. Let me see.
Hello.
Oh.
Excuse me, sir.
Hello, good evening, ma'am. I am Shivanandam from India.
Yeah, tell me, ma'am. Tell me.
Yeah, location have to be located, stay in Pondicherry.
Yeah,
I did
tell me.
computer MA in sociology, Master of Philosophy in Sociology, as well as the MSW, Master of Social Work also.
Okay.
I did computer in some various kinds of disciplines, competed in various kinds of researches I had done.
Okay.
In my studies, MA in Sociology in Pondicherry University, as well as I did completed MSW in Annamalai University.
Actually, you can give us a session now, sir.
You
can give us a session now.
Yeah, I will give the sessions coming 25th, ma'am.
This 25th, you just tell me your number.
909271.
90
9271.
9271.
6039.
6039. Wait, sir. 9092716 You're from Tamil Nadu?
Pondicherry, ma'am.
Yeah. What's your full name?
Sivanandam.
Sivanandam. Okay, I'll send you the conference details. You just fill it, sir.
Okay, surely, ma'am. My another WhatsApp number is. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah. Tell me.
My another WhatsApp number is 99.
Which I have to send to this number or another number?
Another number, ma'am.
Okay, 99.
524.
524.
10. 191.
191. Wait, sir, I will tell you. 9952410191.
Okay, ma'am. 191.
Yeah, I will send to this number,
This
sir.
is my WhatsApp number.
What's your date you sent me?
25th, I will present it for alcoholism is a disease.
Alcoholism as a disease. Okay, I will send you the this one format. You will fill according to that, sir.
But surely, ma'am. Surely. Today I will participate for this conference, ma'am.
Yeah. And your date is confirmed, no, sir? 25th?
25, I will present the evening 6 p.m.
Yeah. You're confirmed, no, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Confirm, ma'am.
Because I have to block your date, that's right.
Okay, surely, ma'am. Surely. 25th.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm sending you
Mrs.
the
Mary?
details now.
Okay.
Surely, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, tell me.
Mrs. Mary?
Yeah.
Are you on audio or video? Why not tune into video? Or you would prefer the audio?
I always use audio.
Okay, you prefer audio? Hello? Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, you prefer the audio, right? Maybe I should switch to audio instead of the video.
Speaker should be in video, ma'am. Only participants in audio.
Okay. Then we still have like how many minutes to start?
Another 15 minutes.
15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. How many participants do we have online now? Hello, Mrs. Mary. How many participants do we have online now?
9.
Okay.
We'll call you.
Okay, so let's wait for 15.
Yeah, when you're about to start, we'll welcome you with prayer.
Okay. So, how many hours from Nigerian to Indian?
Here more Indians
Mrs.
only
Mary?
will attend. Here more Indians only will attend, ma'am. But we got lot of Nigerian speakers in our forum. Christina, Bingu, then this one.
Okay.
Wilkinson. Professor.
Like how many hours from?
Actually, this webinar is 2 hours. It depends on how much you want to take. Maximum.
Are you talking to me?
Huh?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you only.
Okay. You said
we are
what?
giving 2 hours. So how much your topic takes you present, then afterwards the audience will ask you questions.
It's okay. So how many minutes for the class? How many minutes?
No, your wish. How much minutes you want to take, you can take.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
good evening,
okay.
one and all.
This meeting has been
Yes,
prepared by
sir,
the host.
started.
Yeah, Howlat, you can take your own time. Maximum is 2 hours. Minimum, you can take the time as you are comfortable. So we shall conclude by 8 o'clock. You can take as much as time your session requires. So we will all go on mute for some time so that we can complete the formalities, and then we will hand over session.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Thank you. What's the name? The person that just spoke, the name, please.
This is Dr. Ravindra.
Okay, Dr. Ravinda. Okay. Nice meeting you, Dr. Ravinda. Thank you. Thank you for this section. I appreciate. Hello, Dr. Ravinda.
Yeah, we'll go on mute. Then I will we'll start the proceedings. Hope everyone can hear me. So good evening, one and all. We welcome you all. Just Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being and sustainable development 2022, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. We welcome you. Before we start our session, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue today's session. Today we have with us Mrs. Howlat Emmanuel. She is a social worker, professional social worker from Nigeria, Africa. She is also registered member of NASOW and she has various credits to her profile and
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
now I invite Mary ma'am to introduce today's speaker. Mary, introduce today's speaker, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I will introduce her.
Registration form has been shared in the chat box.
Participants who have not registered, kindly register for this session.
Mrs. Halit Emmanuel, she is a registered member of Nigerian Associations of Social Workers. She is HDND Social Works 20 ND Social Workers. She's attended conference here, Hirelin Koira 2018, promoting community and environmental sustainability. IGNU 2018, promoting the importance of human relationship. McAfee Zakaria, Kaduna State 2019, promoting the importance of human relationship. Oyo State 2019, social work regulatory framework, a pathway to promoting effective relationship. Lagos 37 National Conference 2021 Annual General Meeting. Ahuja 2021, Hubutu, I am, because we are, position health, departmental president, state chapter, national welfare, Nigerian Association of Social Workers 2019, Elcom Secretary, Nigerian Social Workers 2019 experience, founder advocator for building and guiding girl child initiative, founder coach, marriage and singles connecting, FB counseling, Facebook, founder coach, marriage counseling in Facebook, and founder coach, advice for married and singles WhatsApp. We welcome you, ma'am. It's great honor of you, having you on board.
Thank you, Mary ma'am, for introducing today's speaker. Now I request today's speaker, Hawlat Ibrahim, to take over for your session on menstrual hygiene. Over to you, ma'am. You can unmute yourself. You can start your video and start your session. Mrs. Hawlat?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Start your video.
Thank you. Thank you. I thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate. Thank you, Mrs. Mary, for that beautiful introduction. I appreciate. Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, please continue with your session.
Yeah, thank you. Like Mrs. Mary likely said, I will be talking on menstrual hygiene. And it has been a very challenging situation, especially for teenagers and women in general. First of all, I would like us to define what the terms menstrual hygiene really means. What is it all about? What do we understand by menstrual hygiene? And we will define it as a woman or an adolescent girls using a clean material to absorb or collect blood that can be changed in privacy as often as necessary for the duration of the menstruation. Of course, as a woman, it gets to a certain level in life that you are expected to menstruate. If the menstruation doesn't come at that time, it tends to be a problem, because every woman ought to menstruate at a particular stage of their lives. Some could start from the age of 15, some from the age of 16, and some late at the age of 18. But maximum at the age of 18, every woman ought to have started their menstruation. And if this doesn't occur, then such person needs to see a gynecologist, because there is a problem somewhere. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am, you continue.
Okay. And there are so many challenges these ladies face. Sometimes it could be lack of proper awareness. There is no proper awareness given to such teenagers as they are growing up. You realize that some of those teenagers, because they were not properly given the right lectures on how they should handle their menstrual hygiene. They begin to have so many health challenges as they are growing up, so many health challenges. So it is my duty, your duty, to ensure that every teenager out there, a female teenager out there, get the maximum support they would get as they are growing up, get the maximum awareness to ensure that menstrual hygiene is properly tackled. Else, in the future, it could be a disastrous, it could be disaster. It could be a serious health challenge to these women out there. So, and today we're going to be looking at how we can help these children, these girls as they are growing up, these women out there, how we can help them by creating awareness on how they should take care of themselves during, in, and after menstruation. Because before menstruation, of course, you need to keep yourself properly clean. Your hygiene should be at a top touch. Like, you should be properly cleaned up. And during the menstruation, you are expected to triple your hygiene. You have to triple your hygiene as much as you can. Tidy up yourself as a lady, as a woman. Tidy up yourself, make yourself clean, be confident, because if you're not clean, you can't be confident. During menstruation, you realize that some of these teenagers, because there was no proper awareness, they lose their self-esteem. They lose their self-esteem completely. And some of them wouldn't even want to be going out. They just want to stay indoor. You know, some of them would just want to keep to themselves. Some of them actually feel depressed. I've seen cases like that. You know, because a particular she's seen her menstruation, she feel something is wrong with her. She feel she's not okay. You know, she feels it's not normal because there was no proper awareness from those around her, from her loved ones, from her family, from her guidance. Because some of these teenagers, some of these girls are not even staying with their parents; they are staying with their guidance. And if the guidance refuse to give them the proper awareness they need to, you see so many of them feeling depressed during menstruation, feeling downcast during menstruation. These are some of the things we'll be looking tonight to see how we can curtail the challenges that comes with menstruation. And we'll also learn some of those teenagers, it would amaze you that they don't even know how to put pads. They don't know how to insert their pads on their pants during menstruation. And some of them don't even know that using pads, it's of benefit to them than using clothes. Because during those days, during the olden days, our parents were more like using clothes. Of course, I'm not saying using clean clothes, it's not good during menstruation, but this generation doesn't need it. Because if you keep telling these girls to use clothing during menstruation, some of them will not even wash it properly. And even those that wash it, they will just put it. And I normally advise people that feels like, okay, they don't have money to buy pads. Okay, fine, you want to use clothes. Wash the clothes. After you finish using it, wash it. Make sure that the cloth is a very clean one. Wash it and dry it under the sun where the bacteria can be killed. And not after that. After that, sorry, you could iron it. You iron it. You iron the clothes properly to ensure that the germs is properly killed. But at the other hand, you would find out that the people that use clothes are in the rural area. Because if you go to the urban city these days, I doubt if any girls, if any teenager or any woman would love to use clothes to absorb the blood that is coming in. So these days we realize that so many women have actually, realized that using sanitary pad, it's actually the best. And it's not enough to use sanitary pad. It is another thing to know that you don't use sanitary pad once in a day. You can't be seeing your menstruation and you want to use just one sanitary pad. That is not hygiene. That is uncleanliness, and we don't advise it. Minimum you use your pad is twice a day, and that is if you don't have a heavy flow. Please, are we together?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We are listening to you.
If you don't have a heavy flow, you could decide to use your your pad, sanitary pad, twice a day. That is morning and evening. But if you're on the heavy flow side, come on, you can't use two pads in a day. In fact, I advise some teenagers, if you're going out and you know that you're on the heavy flow side, please have extra pads with you so that wherever you get to and you feel like you're no longer comfortable with the one you have used before, you could change. You could change. I actually have a pad with me here. You know, the pad we use in Nigeria here is a sanitary pad. There is a provision, you know, for you to, that is, if you're in the public and you want to change your sanitary pad, you cannot just dispose it anywhere because nobody is seeing you. That's not cleanliness. That's lack of, it's an unclean habit, regardless of where you are. Either people are seeing you or nobody is seeing you. Please always ensure that you make you tidy up yourself. I have a pad with me here, and I would love to make an illustration for those that don't really know how to fix their pads and those that don't know how to roll up their pads. We have some teenagers out there actually. They just throw the pads away in the blood, and with the blood like that, it's not a clean habit. By the time you finish seeing your menstruation, the blood clotting, there is something we call hypo in Nigeria here. The hypo is used to wash deaths. You know, I advise the young girls, make sure you have a hypo in the house so that when you finish seeing your menstruation and you want to dispose your pad, you know, especially if you are home, you clean the surface of the blood with the hypo and just little water, because you cannot dispose your pad with blood soaked on it. It's not right. It's not good. Aside the fact that it's not even hygienic, you don't even know who will get hold of your pad out there. Do you get it? So when you are at home, you finish using your pads, please make sure that you wash the surface of the blood from your pad. Then there is this thing at the back of the pad. By the time you remove the pad, you actually have a pad here I'm using as a sample anyway. You just pull the back of the pad and keep the paper they used in rolling up the pads, you know, you keep it aside so that by the time you want to dispose your pad on the trash, you can use this paper like this, just like this. You can see it like this, you know. You can now roll your pads. After cleaning the surface, just ensure that there is no blood there. You don't need to keep blood on your pad and dispose it. It's not right. Just make sure that you roll it like this. You roll it carefully. Roll it carefully. Carefully like this. And after rolling it, you can now put it on this paper. That you see this paper, you can now put it on it and roll it this way. You know, you roll it this way, and you can now, you know, put it on the trash. You can put it on the trash. For you to leave your pad on the with blood on it, blood stains on it, it's very bad. It's very, very bad. Aside those that that will see it and is an eyesore, somebody could use it. Somebody could use it against you spiritually. You understand? So please, and if you're in the public, like I said, if you're in the public and the parts you are using realize it was soaked, you can actually just fold it because you are in the public. You might not have access to water, or you might not have access to hypo. So what do? Just fold it up like this and just put it in somewhere, get a nylon and tie it. By the time you get home, you will still need to flush out the blood from it. Yes, because you can't dispose it like this. And I actually advise people as well, stop disposing your pad on your flush, on your toilet. It's not right. You are destroying the toilet, you're destroying the pit. You know, pads are not meant, sanitary pads are not meant to be flushed on our, or to be flushed on our flushers and the toilet. It's not good. You're blocking the toilet. You're blocking it. Please. For those that are engaged, they feel like, okay, it's very easy. They will just flush it. It's wrong. You're going to destroy your toilet. You're going to destroy the flusher. So to be on the safe side, just get a little water and flush the blood from the surface of your pad, and you dispose. That's all. You dispose. And another thing that I realize people do, and it has been it has been a challenging to so many ladies out there. You see them when they are seeing their menstruation, they don't know how to put the pad. And in the public, you see blood flowing through their pants because the pads were not properly fixed. They were not taught how to fix the pads, you know, properly in their pants. It's a major challenge. It's a big challenge as well. So I normally advise young teenagers, women that don't know how to fix their pads. You have your pad with you. Before you wear your pants, what do? You fix your pad on your pants. You fix it. We have the longer wings and we have the shorter wings. The longer wings will be in your front, and the shorter wings will be, the shorter wings will be at your front, and the longer wings will be at the back. I'm actually showing a sample of it here. This is the longer wings, and this is the shorter wings. So this longer wings stays at the back to enable the blood flow in case you sit down, and there is a flow of the blood, this longer one can actually absorb it. Then this shorter one will help you from the front. So these wings, we have two wings here. I'm actually making an illustration with a sample with me. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
So we have this pad here has two wings. This wings, the essence of it is to clip the pants, to hold the pants. It is not for fashion. The essence of this pad, of these wings in the pad, is to clip it. You clip the two sides of your pants, and it holds the pants and make it comfortable for you to wear. That's the essence of the wings. And that for that. And another thing I would love to talk about is infection. Infections occur 98% cases due to lack of menstrual hygiene. Yes, infection is a terrible disease that has killed a lot of teenagers, a lot of women out there. And if you don't know, you feel like there is a witch somewhere doing you. It is infection. And infection doesn't start in one day. Infection doesn't start in one day. When you lack proper menstrual hygiene, you could have infection. And some persons don't get the symptoms early. Some persons don't get the symptoms early. There are people that have stayed with infection for 2 years. Some have stayed with 1 year. Some have stayed with infection for 1 year, and before they are diagnosed. And some, within few days, those that have sensitive body, within few days they begin to feel uncomfortable because of the infection. And if you come to the African region here, realize that in the African region, there are many women that are suffering from, we have over 1.2 million women that are suffering from infection due to lack of menstrual hygiene. Poor menstrual hygiene can cause serious health risk, like your reproductive system, can affect your urinary tract. It can give you urinary tract infection. In future, it can cause infertility. Yes, it will cause infertility. You begin to because of lack of poor menstrual hygiene, you ended up having infection. You kept on taking antibiotics, all manner of treatments, especially in Africa here. It's very common in Africa here. You kept on taking all manner of medication, it doesn't go off. You kept on taking all manner of medication, it doesn't go off. It doesn't go off because it doesn't take one day. The infection doesn't take a day to come. It accumulates. And how does this accumulate? By the time you're seeing your menstruation, and you kept on using one pad for the whole day, you see the blood fluid, the blood tissue that is supposed to be absorbing in the sanitary pad. Because you refuse to change your pads, you kept on using one from morning till evening. The pad is already soaked and it doesn't have way to go again. So the blood, the tissue, we have to come back, go inside your system. That is the challenge. That is a challenge. That is a problem you will face if you don't use your pads rightly and you don't check your blood flow to know when to change your pads and to be clean at the right time. You see the blood fluid collected on the pad. They ended up returning back to you because there is no space for the blood to flow through anymore. The sanitary pad is already filled up. So the tissues, we ended up going back into your system. It will just keep accumulating. It will be accumulating. It will be accumulating in your system. That is how you see that so many ladies, by the time they grow up, infection, it's a problem to them. And infection can cause terrible things in your reproductive system. It will cause terrible things in your reproductive system. Trust me, especially if you don't have the right people to help you tackle it. If you don't have the right gynecologist to help you tackle it. So for you to effectively manage your menstruation, you need to have access to water. Make sure your environment is clean. Make sure your environment is clean. Your room is clean, ladies. The lazy type, you don't wash your pants always. I used to advise them, as you're entering the bedroom, take your pants and wash it immediately. It is not hygienic piling pants to wash every week. It is not hygienic. It is not hygienic at all. You can't be piling pants to wash every week. You can't be piling your pants to wash every week. It's not hygienic. It is an unclean habit. So I usually advise women out there that wash your pants as regularly as possible. Wash your pants as often as possible. And not just washing alone. Make sure you dry it in a sunny environment. Dry it where the sun can hit it. And if you don't have access, there are some persons that actually don't love drying their undies outside anyway, for some reasons known to them. So you can actually dry it in your bedroom. When it's dried, you iron it, especially the surface at which you put on your private parts. You iron the surface. I don't know if I'm communicating. Are we together? Hello?
Hi, ma'am. Yeah, we are listening to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, we'll ask you after your session finishes only, audience will talk to you. Now they're listening carefully what you're telling.
Okay. I want to be sure that the network is properly connected.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just want to be
yeah.
sure. Okay.
I'm looking at you correctly. I'm attending
Okay.
your session.
So, there are some persons, like I said, that doesn't like their undies being washed outside. They don't want to dry it outside for some reasons known to them. So I usually advise such person. Of course, you can actually dry it in your bedroom, but make sure you iron it. Just make sure that you iron it. Iron your pants, your undies very, very clean, and arrange them very clean, orderly. There are some persons when you enter their room, they will just scatter their pants everywhere, scatter their clothes everywhere. There is no single hygiene, no single proper hygiene. And it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. Because the moment you keep compiling your pants and the germs are there, the germs will be there. The germs will be there. You're not properly washing them. Some persons actually wash, but they don't wash it properly. You need to take your time and wash your pants. Then rinse with plenty of water. Yes, please rinse your undies, your pants with plenty of water. You need to rinse your pants with plenty of water to avoid the detergent being attached to it. Then also you wash your hand regularly. Wash your hand regularly. Ensure anytime you change your pad, please wash your hands. As often as possible, wash your hands to avoid spread of infection. And infection can be spread if you lack poor menstrual hygiene. Infection can be spread if you lack poor menstrual hygiene. So for us to avoid any form of infection, to avoid any form of health challenges in the future, we need to start grooming up our teenagers on how they can keep themselves clean. We need to start grooming up our teenagers on how they should live a healthy life. They should eat a healthy food, and they should do healthy exercise as a woman, as a teenager. They need to engage in all of this. To help them, live a good life, and also have the best, the best menstrual hygiene as they are growing up. And this period we're talking about, some, like I earlier said, some of these teenagers really feel it's a disease. It's not a disease. Not a disease. It's a normal thing. From the age of 15, you are expected to have your flow every month. Some person's own cycle and some other person's own 30, 31. If it exists 31, you're gynecologist. If your menstrual cycle days, you need to see. If it's a reoccurrence anyway, you need to see your gynecologist. And the menstrual blood is partly uterus, is a partly tissues from. That is, every woman's system prepares for conception every month, prepares for pregnancy every month that passes by. So if you don't get pregnant, the blood comes. The uterus, the womb shed its lining and it turns to blood. It turns to fluid, blood fluid. That's when you see your menstruation. But if you eventually get pregnant in that particular month, your menstruation, that is the irony. That is the irony of it. So every woman ought to see their menstruation. Of person says they don't see their menstruation. Is that see a gynecologist? Every menstruation. And if you don't see your own, too good. It's not too good. Yes, it's not good. And for those that skip menstruation and next month they don't see their menstruation, see, you still need to see your gynecologist. It's not normal at all. If you come to this part of the country that I am in Africa, to a lot of women, I have seen cases like that. I've seen cases where women come to me in my office and they say, out of this month, then next month, I saw it on the 10th. You can, then the next upper month, they see it on the 15th or on the 20th. It's not, skip a day for your menstruation. Maybe if you see it this month on the 3rd, upper month, you could see it on the 6th or 7th. The timing, it's longer. You need to see a gynecologist. It's not normal. You need to see a gynecologist. Some problems, understand. What you do immediately is to see a gynecologist. You don't wait at home. You yourself, self-medication is wrong. You need to see your gynecologist as fast as possible so that you would be properly damages, please. Then how to create awareness about menstruation hygiene. We need to create awareness. Responsibility, I earlier said, it is my responsibility, your responsibility, to see that these girls are properly in the rural areas, especially in the rural areas. I actually own an NGO, Building and Guiding the Girl Child Initiative. And we talk to them about menstrual hygiene. We talk to them about rape and self-defense. We talk to them about child molestation and child bullying. That's what we do here in Nigeria. We go to schools and teach them on how they should stand firm, know their worth as a woman. They should know their place in this too, here in Nigeria, with every girl around us. So especially in the rural areas, that's what we do basically in the rural areas, because they need more of this attention. See, using clothes to see their menstruation, which is not. Sanitary pads should be advised for every girl child out there, all around the world. Sanitary pads should be advised by all means. Sanitary pads should be advised by all means. By all means, sanitary pads should be advised. Should be advised for the girl to use. And moreover, we need to encourage them. We need to encourage them. We need to encourage these girls during their menstruation. Like I said before, some of them feel downcast, feel depressed, feel lonely. They don't want to talk to people. They just want to be on their own. You know, some of them begin to have stomach cramps, you know, headache and all of that. They need us. In fact, some of the teenagers could be very choosy when it comes to food. You see them selecting food. This is the kind of food I want to eat. this is the kind of food I want to eat and all of that. We need to just manage them for the time being, just respect them. Some of them, that is the time they need attention the most. Yes. Yeah, because my 15 years old daughter at home, when she's seeing her menstruation, she will tell me, "Mommy, this is what I want to eat. This is what I want to eat." Okay. I said, okay, bring it on. So what am I trying to say? They tend to carve for extra things for these 5 days. It's just a 5 days. It's not a disease. Tell your teenagers the menstruation is not a disease. It's just for 5 days. Some persons see it for 3 days, but maximum is 5 days. Yes, maximum that you can see a menstruation is 5 days. If it's exceeding 5 days, like 2 weeks, 1 week, I think you still need to see your gynecologist, because when you're seeing your menstruation for 1 week, 2 weeks, it's not normal. It's not normal. You will still need to see your gynecologist. You need to see your gynecologist for proper medication to be carried out to see where the problem is. So please, we need to educate these teenagers. We need to educate them. We need to educate them to maintain the highest level of hygiene during menstruation. We need to educate them to maintain the highest level of hygiene during menstruation. And also, they should learn to wash their hands as often as possible. As often as possible. Let them keep their private parts clean as I round up. They need to keep their private parts clean and neat with water. I don't advise people to wash their private parts with soap. It's not hygienic. You're killing some of the good bacteria in your system. So always learn to wash with water, clean water. Wash your hands as often as possible, like I said before. Eat well, eat the right meal. If you need to take rest, of course you can rest. Yes, during menstruation, you need little rest. You need to take water as often as possible. Take lots of water during your menstruation so that you won't feel dehydrated. And also, if you have a little cramp, there are some of these girls, they have serious cramp that they can't even go out. So I advise them to just rest within some minutes, hours. If it takes a day, of course, you could still rest and the pain will subside. You could just hit yourself a little bit and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Menstruation is not a disease. Please, it is not a disease. It's a normal thing for every woman. In fact, if you don't menstruate, it's a problem. If you're not menstruating, it's a problem. And if you're not keeping proper menstrual hygiene, it's a problem. It's going to be a serious challenge as you're growing up. And I trust nobody would want to see themselves having all manner of health challenges because they neglected themselves as they were growing up. Like I said, I'll be rounding up this section. I'll be rounding up this section in just a minute. And I would love questions and we'll see how far we can answer them. So please, let's create awareness. Let's create awareness. In Africa here, especially in Nigeria, I have seen cases of people suffering from infections. And by the time we make a research, we realize that they were not properly trained on how they should keep their menstrual cycle and how they should keep their hygiene clean, how they should keep their surroundings, their home, their bed, your pants, your dress. Just keep yourself clean, because as they say, cleanliness is godliness. And even God himself would not even want to be associated. Nobody wants to, God himself would never want to be associated with the dirty, unclean persons. So talk more of the damage it has to your health. Please, we should all create the awareness and educate these teenagers, those girls out there to maintain the highest level of hygiene during menstruation, after menstruation, and God bless us as we do so. Thank you very much for this section, Mrs. Mary and Dr. Ravindra. Think we'll be ready to take questions now. Thank you.
Thank you, Howlett. It was
Thank you so much.
You have given wonderful insights and the kind of care that needs to be taken.
Yeah.
While ensuring the menstruation, this health is safe and smooth.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Participants, if you have any queries, you can use chat box or you can unmute yourself and share your thoughts.
Are you talking to me? Hello.
Actually, your session was very informative, and it's every lady should know this. Actually, you're given a very live demonstration also you have shown, and it is very necessity to keep the menstrual hygiene very neat, and how you told how to be clean during that time. And if it exceeds more than 10 to 20 days, you should see gynecologist. Very informative. Actually, this is a very important topic, a very important topic for the ladies and for everyone to also know how people feel during that. General public also, how they feel that 4 days, how they are, they become sick. Person to person, it depends. Some people feel healthy, some people first day only they are not well. So very excellent topic, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hope to see you in more sessions in this forum, and best for your next session and all the best for your life also.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Do we have questions? Please, I want questions to be asked. Yes, please.
Yeah, dear participants, quickly you can unmute and share your observations, queries, or clarifications.
Yes, please. I would love to answer questions.
How do you see generally when we talk about Nigeria or African countries, there is a lot of challenges in terms of resources, financially.
Exactly.
So how do you think they are able to cope up with this menstrual hygiene? Because we need these menstrual pads or menstrual cups or a different kind of hygiene that needs to be maintained, and there is expenditure also involved.
Yeah.
How these people, how they are managing?
You're right. I love this. Like I said, I have an NGO in Nigeria here. It's about the girls, building and guiding the girl child. And I have gone to so many, I have done so many projects. I've done about 4 projects to 4 different schools on menstrual hygiene. Do you know that personally, I use my money to buy pads and share. Personally, I go to rural areas. I use my money to buy pads and share for these girls. I have seen these girls come to me. They say, "Mom, please, we don't have money to buy pads." And there is a guy, some of them can actually fall victim of molestation because of the singular fact that they don't have money to buy pads. You see, a guy can just tell them, "Don't worry, come to me, let me touch you, let me touch your private part. I'll give you 1,000, I'll give you $1, I'll give you $2. But I am pleading with our government. We need intervention, we need help, we need materials, we need the sanitary pads. They should make provision for it in every schools, both in Africa and all over the country. There should be a way that these girls have access to sanitary pads. Like I said, I use my money to buy over 1,000 pieces of pads to share. I gift the girls every month. That is what I do. Every month, I go to different schools. I'll gift them. You take this, take this. Is a gift. So, like you said, I'm pleading with the governments in Africa and all over the world. They should make provision for sanitary pads for those girls. They need it. There should be in a way that even if they don't have money, they can actually have access from their homes or from their schools. I think that will go a long way by creating this awareness. Let the government know and let them come to our help. Let them help us. Let them help the schools. Then those NGOs that are dealing with girls, they should support those NGOs. They need to support us. We can't do it alone. We need support. We need support from every part of the world. Because it's a serious challenge here. It's a serious one. Thank you. So I don't know if I've answered the question.
Yeah, very well. You're doing wonderful job by, sponsoring and buying pads to them. And can you share how government or to what extent this government is funding this sanitary pads program or this menstrual hygiene program?
If I really want to rate the government, I would say they are trying, but they need to try harder. They need to try more. They need to try more. They need to support NGOs. They need to support NGOs that talks about this girl child. They need to support. They need to make provision. They need to make provision for funds, for materials. And not just that, each of the projects the NGOs will be executing, there should be an evidence of what they have executed. Like me, I have done so many projects, like I said, regarding the girl child. And I have everything documented. I have everything documented. So if the government is asking me, okay, let's see what you have done so that we'll know what we can help you, I'll just send you my documents. You see them, what I have done so far, and where we need help. The government is actually trying, but they need to try more. They need to try more. They need to try more. They need to help by helping NGOs. They need to help NGOs with materials. They need to. Because it is not easy for an NGO to run itself without fund, without material support. There was a time I visited UNICEF in Nigeria. I visited their office, their child protection department. And I told them that I would love to collaborate and partner. I'm talking about UNICEF. So I told them that this is what I am doing and I need their support. I need their help. And up till now, I have not heard from UNICEF. I've not heard from them. If they don't help us, we can't do it alone. They need to support us in every way possible. From all over the world, the government needs to support NGOs. We're talking about UN, talking about UNICEF, and so on. We need their support so that we can facilitate the work. The work can go smoother and faster for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your efforts and the way you are approaching various international NGOs. What kind of challenges you face? Why they are not responding? I mean, where there is lacune, where there is a gap, whether they are unable to understand the seriousness of the problem, or where could be this gap, and how do you think this can be addressed?
Yeah, we need to have a bridge. An NGO should have a bridge between the government, in the sense that when you want to carry out a project, like I said, the government is trying. They are trying to see how they can curtail this menstrual hygiene challenge that would in return lead to infection and so many health challenges as these teenagers are growing up. The government are trying. But the challenges we always have is this. By the time we speak to the government, they will promise us that, okay, they will support us. But in the end, we don't get any support from them. We don't usually get any support from them. We don't usually get any support. They will tell us, they'll make a promise, okay, we're going to support you. We're going to bring some materials. And I think the last materials I got, the last support we got for my NGO in Nigeria here was from a friend in US. Yes, she was interested in what I was doing here. And she just said, okay, I am supporting you people with material relief. She sent about 2,000 parts down here from US to Nigeria. These are the things that the government are supposed to be doing, but they are not doing it. They are not doing it. So it's really a serious challenge, and I'm appealing to them that they should give genuine NGOs, those that have done something, they should give them listening ears. They should support us. This is their work. We are doing the government work. These are the works they're supposed to be doing. But we took it upon ourselves to help the citizens as well, to help them. So they should help us in return by supporting us in every means way they can. Because the bridge between us and the NGO is too wide. And even when we talk to them, they make promises and we don't get to the promises don't get to us in the end. Please, I plead with the government. They should give us attention. They should give us listening ear. They should support us, support the girl child. The girl child needs us. When you train a girl child, you train a nation. That is it. When you train a girl child, you're training a nation. So please, the girl child needs us. The girl child needs the government. It is time for them to wake up to their responsibility, even as we support them in ensuring that these girls are properly educated on menstrual hygiene and also are properly educated on their self-confidence during and after menstruation. We need their support. The bridge, it's too long, wide enough, and it's a big challenge to us. It's a big challenge to us. We need them. We need their support. In every means, we need their support. Thank you.
Thank you. Very well explained. And
thank you.
There is one more query. How do you, I mean, what kind of initiatives were taken or you think needs to be taken to reduce these costs of sanitary pads, or, for which,
yes,
yeah, any locally you are encouraging any
Yeah.
entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who can manufacture the pads and other things.
You know, the government can actually own a company to produce pads. The government can actually do that. They can actually do that. Yes. If you would ask me, I will tell you that they should put a measure. The government should own their own pad production factory so that it can get to the less privileges. Let the government take charge. And even as they own the pad production company, they should share to the NGOs out there. They should give it to the NGOs free of charge. Then the NGOs can go to rural areas and create the awareness, educate them, and share the pads to them. It should be an often thing. It shouldn't be an yearly thing. Let it be often. The government can do it. They should put in money there. They should own a company where they produce pads from the government free of charge. Then schools can actually go to these companies and get pads, even if it's not free. It could be at a very lower rate, cheap rate, very cheap, that anybody can afford. Anybody. Then in the rural setting, that is my major concern, because those people are really suffering. In the rural setting, I would advise that the government should make sure that every month pads get to the rural area and let it be shared. I would advise they put in that measure, especially in the rural area, in the swamp areas where they don't even have access to market. They don't have access to market. They don't even have access to where they can buy things from. So it's a serious challenge. Menstrual hygiene is a serious challenge in swamp areas. Please, the government should make sure that they put in place a company that can make provision for these parts, that can, distribute these parts. Like I said, I kept saying, we have so many NGOs out there. What are the responsibility of these NGOs? Is to ensure that the teenagers, the youths, the girls, the elderly have good life, have a better life. That is the work of every NGO out there, giving hope to the hopeless, supporting those that need assistance. So by the time the government comes in and we come in, then everybody will be happy. Everybody will be happy in the end. So I would advise that the government should try as much as possible to see that they look into having a pad company where they can produce more of these sanitary pads and distribute them at a cheaper prices. I think that will be all for this. Yeah, thank you. The government needs to wake up to their responsibility. They need to wake up. And how will they do that? They should put people in place that will be able to supervise all these activities that I just mentioned. Reliable, trust people. They should be able to put them in place to monitor and evaluate every activities that will be carried out. And most importantly, even if the government says they cannot even, own a pad company, they could liaise with all these pad companies everywhere. We have a lot of pad companies in Nigeria here where they produce sanitary pad. They could liaise with them and supply the pads to school at a cheaper rate. Yes, or even the government can pay some of these companies, let them go to schools and distribute the pads to these children. I think it will go a long way in supporting them and reducing some of these social vices. I've seen where a man slept with a girl because the girl was demanding for $1. to do what? To buy sanitary pad. The man said until he slept with her that he will not give her the money. And the lady become vulnerable because she needs the help at that time. So these are lots of challenges, and I applaud the government to support us. I applaud them to put up a measure to ensure that every girl child across the globe have access to sanitary pads. Thank you.
Thank you. Very well. We dealt this issue, and there is a lot of hygiene issues when pads are disposed, as you were mentioning. They are not sterilized, or they are not disposed properly. That can even cause health hazard. So, how about implementing other alternative reusable menstrual cups or any other initiatives? How do you see, these alternatives can be used, and how feasible they are for implementation?
You mean disposing the pads?
Menstrual cups instead of menstrual pads, reusable menstrual cups. Because that's a one-time investment, and maybe if someone can sponsor these cups, so they can use it for quite good number of years or times. This will reduce the burden, financial burden for buying pads every month.
Yeah, the whole thing is this: hygiene is something everybody should practice. Either you're seeing your menstruation or you're not seeing your menstruation. Hygiene is very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. Because there are lots of persons that have faced a lot of health challenges because of poor menstrual hygiene, or because of, let's even leave the menstrual out of it, because of hygiene. Generally, hygiene is cleanliness, and cleanliness is godliness. If you are not clean, it's a problem. If you lack, there are people that still use these pads that we're talking about, and they lack proper hygiene. There are people that use clothes to see their menstruation, and they are able to keep it very clean, just like I said earlier. But the thing is, it is not advisable to use clothes. It is not advisable to use clothes. We have to educate these girls to use pads. And aside using the pads, they need to be educated, just like the questions you just asked. Like they can use, are you saying they should have a pad they can use for a whole year? Is that what you're saying? Maybe I didn't get you well, that the government should make provision for them to use a pad for a whole year. Am I correct? Am I correct?
Yeah, instead of going for menstrual pads, can menstrual cups be used?
Menstrual what? Terms?
Menstrual cups. Are you aware of these menstrual cups?
Yeah, it can be used. For those that knows how to use it, right? Of course, I'm aware. It can be used if they know how to use it.
So can we create awareness and help them to use more of menstrual cups so that they need not buy everything?
Yes, we can. We can do it. We can. But in Nigeria here, we don't have it.
Okay. So how about doing advocacy or awareness on, bringing more sustainable products like reusable menstrual cups?
Yeah, reusable one. You can actually wash and wear. Yeah. It's very, very important. Yeah, I actually forgot to mention it. There are people that, in fact, it's very, very, it saves a lot of money. It saves a lot of money. You know that. It saves lots of money from them. So we can actually advocate on that they should use it. And aside them using it, we need to tell them that they should keep it clean, very clean. They should make sure that they wash it properly to avoid any form of infection. So that is that.
This will help some burden it by purchasing pads and again. And also, it will reduce the wastage or the kind of hazards that come with the disposal of these menstrual pads.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It will really help a long way. It will help a long way for those that cannot afford pads. It's help. In fact, I love this. We need to create this advocacy and create the awareness as fast as can, so that we can help them. Some of them don't really know, so we can tell them how to use it and how to keep it clean. Yes, we need to tell them how to keep it clean.
Maybe I think, pads are I'm just sharing a few thoughts, maybe because that might contribute, or maybe when we, even for approach some funding agencies for pads, they might think, okay, because this is a continuous process and they need to be funded as long as they reach the menopause. So it's a very long funding program that will go. But I think maybe menstrual cups, maybe, 1 or 2 cups will suffice. If I am not wrong, maybe subject to correction.
Yeah, the thing is, some persons don't really love the menstrual cups. Some persons don't love it. They don't like it.
Yeah,
you understand? But it's actually advisable for those that cannot afford the sanitary pad continuously. We are not compelling them to use. We're not forcing anybody to be using the menstrual cups. We're not forcing them. If you know that you don't have money to buy the menstrual pads always, you can go for the menstrual cup. But if you have the money, then you can be buying your sanitary pad always. So even the awareness we are creating, we are not forcing them. It's not as if we're going to be forcing them. We are actually suggesting to them, those that don't have money, if you don't have money to buy sanitary pad, there is an alternative. Yes, we tell them there is an alternative. I don't even understand. So we tell them there is an alternative.
Yeah, maybe these combined efforts will address the menstrual hygiene. Maybe we can also advocate for this, as you rightly pointed out, a manufacturing unit or industry for sanitary pads. In a similar way, these menstrual cups are also, promoted and given for free by government or maybe an industry for manufacturing menstrual cups. That will also reduce the burden for the government and also for the people. And
You're
it's
right.
a long-term sustainable project,
You're right.
help women and girls to maintain their menstrual hygiene.
You're right. I agree with you. I agree with you. Totally. 100% I agree with you. In this part of the world where we come from, in Nigeria here, I have seen a lot of girls going into depression because of menstrual hygiene. Yes, I have seen a lot of girls going into depression. There is no proper education. There is no proper guide. There is no proper awareness. And it is our responsibility. Even before we call on the government, as a parent, it is, as a good citizen, it is your responsibility and my responsibility to help them. True or false? We need to help them. We need to help them. Even before the government comes in, let's play our roles as a good citizen of the country. So just like you said, I agree with you completely. Your suggestion is actually a good one, and it will help a lot of teenagers, a lot of girls out there. It will help them. It will help them. And in return, it will curtail a lot of social vices that they might have gone through in this aspect. So I totally agree with you. And we can actually join hands together. We can join hands together. The Indian government, the Nigerian government, I don't know, do you have a sir, I don't know, do you have an NGO? You have an NGO?
Yeah, I mean, in India, there are a lot of NGOs working, and we are also part of a few NGOs working. And we are also regularly organizing these menstrual hygiene awareness days and the various programs, in coordination with the WASH programs. And
Okay. Like I said, it is your responsibility and my responsibility to ensure that we give this youth, these girls, proper education and proper awareness. It is my responsibility. So we can actually collaborate. We can collaborate and make out a project that will help these girls. We can come up with a program here in Nigeria, there in India. We come up with a program to help. I don't know if I'm correct. We come up with a program and we go online, we live stream, everybody is seeing what we're doing and all of that. So thank you. I really appreciate this section. I really appreciate the time. Hello, sir, are you there?
yeah, thank you, Mrs. Howlett. Maybe we will see how we can work together, collaborate together, and see
Yes.
how we can contribute for this menstrual health and hygiene.
Yes, yes, yes.
So thank you. It was really nice listening to you. And
Thank you so much.
Very well shared lot of insights, the kind of challenges and issues.
Yeah.
And, very well presented.
Thank you so much.
So thank you once again for joining us and sharing
Thank you.
And we wish you all the success in your future endeavors. And
thank you so much.
Look forward for more sessions in future.
Thank you so much. I hope we're going to keep in touch. I don't know if we could be chatting on WhatsApp. I think it's better. We could chat on WhatsApp.
Yeah, sure. You have my contact number. So you can always get back to me. Where there is a requirement, we'll work together, collaborate together, and bring more awareness on menstrual hygiene.
Okay. I'll send you some of my projects that I've done in Nigeria here concerning the girls and menstrual hygiene. I'll send you some of the projects. I'll send it to you. And you see my parts. I'll send it to you. I'll send you video and I'll send you a document to you.
Sure, definitely. I will look into it.
Thank you, Mr. Ravindra.
Thank you once again.
I do appreciate this section.
So once again, we thank you on behalf of
Thank you.
all the participants.
Thank you so much.
And really, we appreciate your efforts that you are putting in promoting, menstrual health and hygiene, and contributing to the women's and girls' health in Nigeria. It's a wonderful job you are doing. And
Thank you.
we pray for you, and may God give you all the strength.
Amen.
Carry out
Amen.
various programs and projects.
Amen. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. Thank you. Thank you. So,
dear friends,
we're saying,
yeah.
Thank you so much.
So thank you once again.
Bye for now. You're welcome.
Take care. Bye.
All right, bye.
Dear friends, feedback form is being shared in the chat box. You can fill the feedback form. It is mandatory for receiving your certificates. Dear friends, quickly fill up the feedback form. It has been shared in the chat box. And tomorrow there is a conference. Like every week, we have a conference. So let me share you the registration link for tomorrow's conference also. The joining link is same. Tomorrow, conference will be from 11 o'clock. Let me share the registration link with you all. I have shared the registration link for tomorrow's conference. You can register for it and join with the same link at 11 o'clock. And if you would like to make a presentation, you can register and share the details as mentioned in the registration form to conference email ID and as well as WhatsApp number mentioned in the registration form. And invite your friends who or if you know any subject experts who can do justice to the topics, you can invite them and we'll be happy to accommodate them. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. Before leaving, kindly fill up the feedback form and also register for tomorrow's conference. See you all tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning. Take care. Good night.